to my carving shit, and boy does it feel good to be back. My name is Hunter. I am here in Virginia and I carve animal skulls. Today's project, as you saw, is going to be a birdhouse skull. And of course I'm going to add some carving to it just because that's kind of my thing. But I have the perfect skull. To begin with, I was like, I kind of want to keep it kind of natural looking. I don't want a nice bright white skull sitting up in my yard in a tree, although it may eventually turn to that. But I have this guy, a bovine, and I think it's actually going to work out really well. So first off, I got to put on my hat. Okay, good to go. With making a birdhouse, right? So obviously we need some type of cavity for the bird to build its nest in, and we'll drill a hole, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the reason why a cow skull, or say a bison skull or something like that, something bigger is going to work, is because of that larger cranial cavity. So in particular with cows and some other similar animals, you have your cranium cavity, and that's this thing right here, and then around it you have, which is actually the sinuses. The sinuses go all the way around this cranium cavity. So it's not as large as you might look when you're looking at a skull from the front. You might think it's really huge. It's not that big, just because there are these spaces in between the outside of the skull and the actual brain cavity. So like I said, normally I wouldn't start carving or using a skull like this that's this dirty. But in this case, I'm sticking with it because that's the look that I'm going for. The hole that you're going to make for a birdhouse depends on what type of bird you want to attract, and because our cranium, or the cavity, is on the smaller side, we are going to go for something like a finch or a chickadee. So for those, your hole size is going to be about, kind of depending where you look, but 1 inch to 1.25 inches. I'm going to start off with 1.5 inch drill bit. I'm not going to go all the way through with that, but I'm just going to kind of get the opening started, and then we'll do about 1 inch, 1.25 inch opening after that. So as you can see, we broke into the nasal cavity, but we haven't gotten into the brain cavity, cranial cavity just yet. Okay, so now I'm going to use the sanding wheel to open up that hole up to right at just about, just over 1 inch, so the little chickadees can get in. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. We actually, because of the essentially double wall on the skull here with the sinuses, that kind of leaves us a little lip for birds to hang out on, or at least land on, and whatever you call that, whatever birds do when they fly into their home, you know what I'm talking about. There's a ledge there. They can put their feet on it, you know? You get the idea. And it also provides a little overhang, so prevent water from coming in. And that's pretty much the birdhouse part of it done. I am going to fill up the hole here in the back, but I want to move on to some carving. I know there's a lot of kind of apprehension with carving sometimes, just because it seems a little bit daunting as far as what do I put on there. But I'm just going to do something really simple and kind of show you that how cool it can be if you're carving something really basic. And that's going to be a little moon sequence, with this being a full moon, then like half moon, crescent. You get the idea, and I'll add some stippling around it. And I'm just going to work off the natural weathering of the bone, so you're going to have some contrast with when I start to carve into it. It'll be a lot whiter than you might think, and then the contrast between that and the rest of the bone, and then over time it'll have its own patina when it's sitting out in the weather, so that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, let's sketch a little something out. Okay, so I picked out my tree. It's gonna be right there, and it is directly across from my office right there, so that once a wren or a chickadee, something like that, comes along and makes it their home, then I'll be able to see it, hopefully capture it on video. And just temporarily, I'm using some leather strapping here to hang it up. I think I'm gonna get some baler twine though, to get it a little more sturdy, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there. And there you have your cow skull birdhouse. Now it's just a matter of waiting for a bird. So follow me on Instagram, because that's where it's gonna go down. That's where, once something does come and live in this skull, whether it's a bird or a bunch of bees, I'll update you on Instagram. Okay guys, just wanted to say thank you for watching, and as a thank you, I made a poster back here completely free for you to download. There's a link in the description of this video. It is, let's get back in focus here, it's an anatomy poster of a bobcat skull. So I labeled all the different parts of the skulls, even the different teeth in the skull, and you can download it and then print it off. I went to Staples and printed it off for less than $8, but the download completely free for you to use. Put it in your office like I have it, or put it in a classroom, or just on your wall, wherever. So that is free for you to use. Again, link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned and subscribe if you have not already for all kinds of cool, crazy skull stuff. All right, guys, thanks.